All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Thursday evening, the drive home edition of KnicksFanTV Live. CP the Fanchise in the building, Alex Trataros on the other side. It is the day we've all been waiting for. The dates have been set. The schedule has been printed, and we're going to go through it, man. The 25-26 regular season schedule has been released for the New York Knicks. The campaign to get the elusive championship Larry O'Brien trophy, man. So we're going to break down the key dates, the key details for the Knicks schedule. Get your reactions to it. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. Salute to our Fanchise channel members and to Knicks Nation worldwide, wherever you guys are watching, man. The number one show for the fans, by the fans, is in the building. Let's go. All right, man. Al, how we feeling, man? It's Christmas.
Good, man. It is Christmas.
Yeah.
We got the Knicks schedule, the NBA schedule. We get to break it down and look at the fun that's going to come through for the 25-26 season. So it should be a good one, man. And look, 42% of these games are going to be nationally televised, which is going to be cool.
Put some respect on our name. 34 national TV games, bro.
42%.
40. I mean 30. Yeah, but it's 34 national TV games, though.
Yeah, man. 30. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. You know, some people might not like that too much, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But hey, they are certainly putting some respect on our name. Let's get into the schedule right away, man. Let's get down to business. Salute to the Fanchise channel members, everybody on the grind, everybody headed home. As announced, here we are. Okay. All right, let's get to it. All right, so give me your thoughts real quick. Home opener, season opener against the Cleveland Cavaliers on ESPN. Your thoughts on the top two teams or projected top two teams of the East squaring off right away.
Look, man, it's what I discussed prior to. We've discussed this multiple times. Look, you have no Tyrese Halliburton for the Indiana Pacers, no Jason Tatum for the Boston Celtics. They just revamped their entire team. It makes sense that you open up the NBA with regards to the Eastern Conference with the supposed two best teams in the Eastern Conference. I mean, what it should be at the end of the regular season should be Cleveland and New York, 1, 2, in some order, facing off. And hopefully we get to see these teams in the Eastern Conference Finals. So it only makes sense that they tease it at the beginning of the regular season because, look, if you open up with Boston, it's not going to be the same team. It's not going to garner the same attention. If you open up with Indiana, it's not going to garner the same attention because Tyrese Halliburton's not there. So you got to go with the next best thing, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers. And guess what we get to bring up, CP? The Donovan Mitchell storyline all over again.
All over again. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it, man. I like that one. But what do you think about it?
Yeah, to me, it was expected. With it being a national TV game, it's different, right? You can't start off with a Detroit, Orlando, Atlanta, maybe, but it's national TV. You're gonna take the bow off the thing to kick off the season with a spicy matchup. So they went with that. Tuesday night belonged to the West Coast, the champs and the Rockets, and you have Golden State and the Lakers. So they're sticking to the West Coast. East Coast, you had to start off with the two best teams in the East. So I like that matchup, and hey, it is what it is. Whether you think it's indicative of how weak the East is going to be, there's always going to be surprises. There's always going to be teams that emerge, but for right now, it's the Knicks and the Cavs, and so I thought it was proper to start off that way. I can't wait to get to the Garden. I will have my tickets. Then Friday against the Boston Celtics, man. This will be the Amazon Prime debut. So the Knicks making the ESPN debut, making an Amazon Prime debut. Your thoughts against the Celtics on Friday, Amazon Prime?
Look, like I said, even though Boston is going to not be the same without Jason Tatum, they don't have KP, they don't have Drew Holiday. They're still going to be a good team. I expect this team to be top 5 in the Eastern Conference, just the way that things are shaking out. And so you're going to have Jaylen Brown, you're going to have Derek White leading the way for this team. I'm looking forward to that matchup as well. And it's a good way to kick off the Amazon Prime, viewership with Knicks and Boston. I mean, look, we took them down in the semis of the Eastern Conference, right? So why not, after the supposed matchup, Boston's right there to follow. And look, they should still have some bad blood against New York after the way that we took them out. And I like this matchup, man. Look, when you look at the way the East is built right now, based on the injuries, I mean, who else are you going to go with for the second game to just keep intrigue in the NBA?
Yeah.
Especially like Indiana, you just can't have there yet, and you see why. I mean, they even dropped it all the way down to December. I'm sure we're going to get into it, but if you're not going to have Halliburton, who is the main reason, for why, or like one of the main reasons, I should say, and there's no Miles Turner on that team either, right? He's over in Milwaukee. Like what are you bringing back to like bring the animosity, right? What's bringing the viewership? So I think Boston's a good segue into that. I mean, just keep going down. Miami, we got the next team. No Jimmy Butler over there.
Yeah.
Chicago, question mark. Milwaukee. I mean, look, they're going to be the fourth game, but I think Boston, out of all the teams, when you look at it, even with the upgrades that Orlando has made and Atlanta has made, you still got to earn it, right? This is a league where you have to earn it before you get the viewership because, look, they went through the whole Zion experience. They penciled in, I think, over 20 to 30 games for that, right? And the next thing you know, he's injured, misses the season. Then you have a lot of nationally televised games with Brandon Ingram and company, and it doesn't really draw the same attention that you're looking for. And so it makes sense that you go with Boston and New York for game 2.
We'll run through a couple more key dates, and then we'll really dig into all 82. The NBA Cup, the Emirates NBA Cup, will start on Halloween, Friday at Chicago. That's at 7 p.m. Their group is Chicago, Miami, Charlotte, and Milwaukee. And so then they will play the Miami Heat at home on Friday, November the 14th. Then they will be at Charlotte on Wednesday, November the 26th, and then home to the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday the 28th. Hey man, like last year, I think this is a winnable group. Group C of the NBA Cup. They once again have Charlotte and Milwaukee in their group. You had Miami, you had Chicago. This should be a winnable group. Last year they lost to the Hawks in the quarterfinals. I expect this Knicks team to get to the quarterfinals at least again now in NBA Cup.
They should. I mean, you'll go through Chicago, Miami, Charlotte, Milwaukee. Who out of this entire list, is there anyone that actually concerns you?
Well, Milwaukee, I mean, with Giannis, you always have to respect.
For sure.
They picked up Amir Coffey today, man. It's one guy off the free agent list.
This is true. This is this is a name that people were discussing in Knicks circles, right? But look, I mean, out of all these, look, if we talk about the point guard being the most important position in the NBA, they don't have a point guard right now. So yes, I still respect Giannis, but even still, Chicago, question mark. Not really sure what they're doing over there. Miami, another question mark. Charlotte, another question mark. Knicks should be able to knock those 3 teams, especially where they're pegged. Maybe you say, hey, look, it could be like football, any given Sunday, right? Any given night, a team could be knocked out. But I think with the way that the Knicks have situated themselves after last year, and we're considering that the bench that they had last year, where you're talking about led with Campaign, Deuce McBride, right? You didn't even really have Landry Shamet for most of the time. Even with Deuce, he was still out with injury. Precious, who was missing time with injury.
Yeah.
During this time of the schedule, if New York comes in fully healthy, there should be no reason why they don't come in here and dominate the NBA Cup, the Emirates Cup.
We're trying to get to Vegas, man. A little early Vegas. We go Vegas for Summer League. I'll do a little Christmas time in Vegas. Why not, man? So let's hope that the squad takes care of business. So speaking of Christmas, as we know, we get the Cavs Christmas Day. But I always like to look at the West Coast games, and the first West Coast trip, starts with at Phoenix, which is Friday, January 9th. Then you have at Portland, January 11th. Then you have at Sacramento, Mike Brown's return to Sacramento, revenge game on January 14th. And then at Golden State on Thursday, January 15th. And that's it. That's the first West Coast trip. Hey, that's at least a 3-1 trip right there.
Should be. And should be. Is it interesting that they put Sacramento a little farther into the schedule and not doing it earlier just because of the whole Mike Brown storyline?
Nah, it was either going to be in one of the 2 West Coast trips. So they gave you the first one. I didn't think that was out of the ordinary, just based on how they typically travel for the West Coast. I didn't think so.
I feel like they like to do storylines a little bit, as much as possible to bring it up and just once again garner attention. But the one thing I'm looking at this list for the West Coast trip, thank you for giving us some reasonable times for the most part.
No 10:30s. No
I know
10:30 start times.
we got 10 p.m. for Sacramento and Golden State, but the other two, decent times.
Reasonable.
Phoenix 9 p.m., Portland 6 p.m.
6.
Yeah.
Not bad, man. Not bad. So that's a good part of the West Coast trip. But now in March, the second West Coast trip gets very interesting. Now, this is after you play the champs, Oklahoma City, at home at the Garden on March 4th. We'll get to that. You go to Denver on Friday, March 6th. So you got to go mile-high altitude and travel. Then you got to fly out to L.A. March 8th and 9th. You got Lakers, Clippers back-to-back. Then at Utah, which is March 11th. That's the Clarkson revenge game. That's a winnable game. And then you got to go to Indiana after that. But Denver, then the two Clippers. I mean, the Lake Show Clippers and Utah. It's a little tricky after playing the champs. The game before that. Your thoughts on the second West Coast trip?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is going to be. You just look at OKC, Denver, Lakers, Clippers. Those are 4 really good teams that you're playing back to back to back to back, and I think it's going to be a good challenge for the New York Knicks because not only do you face off against the NBA champs that you lost to twice last year, you're hoping to make a mark this season and prove yourself, prove where you stand amongst yourselves, right, in the league. And I guess we can wipe away that 0-8 against top teams from last year, right? Because ultimately we were able to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, but still, nevertheless, you want to see where this team can handle a challenging schedule where game plans are going to be different, styles are going to be different, right? So it will be a good sled for the Knicks at this part of the schedule. You get a nice little break with Utah in between after they did wholesale and then ending in Indiana. It'll be a long time, and we know those road trips do take a toll. So
sure.
And especially at that
time
part of the season.
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say, and that's a great point, TP. It's like at that part of the year where you're around the 60, 70 game mark, it's like, all right, so the end of the season's nearing, but now we got to go on this long road trip. It's going to be a good way to test the player's mind to see how well can they stay focused and, navigate a tough part of the schedule while still getting ready for the postseason.
Yeah, no question about it, man. So to everybody in the chat once again, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. CP and Alex on the ones and twos. Knicks schedule release show. We are breaking down the key details, the key dates, everything that you need to know about the schedule and getting your reactions to it. Alex, shout out some of our loyal Fanchise channel members in the chat. I see our guy Daniel Beausejour in the chat. Daniel, we sent out your trivia prize this week, so you should be getting that by either Friday, Saturday. Shout out Malik Shabazz, Will Latimer checking in from ATL Al. Shout out to P. McGee. Coach Rubin, salute to you. Zach, 1646, checking in from the West Coast. We got JJ in here. Who you want to shout out, man?
You said, let's see, we got Zach, 1646.
Yeah.
I think he said that for sure. We got Son from Brooklyn. Shout out to you. Mm-hmm. We got Omar G. Shout out to you for being in here as well.
Omar's
got you open. Always coming through as well. Junior Karoma. Day one and a regular in here. We got Steve Pizza as two. We got our guy Brandon Guest in the chat as well, man.
Flash. I don't got my championship ring on now, but the trophy's back here. The MVP trophy's back here. Shout out to B Guest, man. It's part of a championship KFTV squad.
Absolutely. We got Yossi Boogie in here as well.
Yossi, what's good?
We got Grabba Gaming, too. Shout out to you.
Salute. Eric L. Beat. Stephen Gomez checking in for the Miami crew, the 305 crew. The Miami trip is a little bit early this year, man. And they gave it to us on a Sunday. But we're still going to try to make the meetup happen. It is Sunday, the first Miami trip. The first road game, rather, is Sunday, the 26th, October 26th. So we might have to make that the KFTV Miami meetup. Might have to be early this year rather than later. But we got to do what we got to do, man. We got to do
on a Sunday, too. You go down there, maybe you do a little bit of Miami while you're down there, CP,
Yeah, it's still good enough time weather-wise and all of that good stuff. So we'll have to make arrangements accordingly. Okay, so those are some of the key dates and the key swings, the 2 West Coast trips we always like to take a look at. Now let's take a look at this in maybe groups of 10 first, Al, and react to it. Think about matchups and how they may look going through these 10. So you start off with Cleveland, Boston, as we discussed. Then you have 3 road games at Miami, at Milwaukee, at Chicago. Then you have home Chicago, back-to-back against Washington, winnable games. Julius, Dante, Ant-Man coming to town. You get Minnesota at home. That's Wednesday, November 5th. Then you place the Brooklyn Nets on the 9th. You get a couple days off. You play the Nets on the 9th. And then Memphis on the 11th. So that first 10, what are we thinking there, man? Win-loss, what are we thinking there, first 10? What are you thinking, man?
What am I thinking? Ooh, let's see. Cleveland, Boston. All right. I feel like they should win those 2 games. This is so interesting. Why am I feeling that through the first... All right. Back-to-back games against Chicago. I know there's a day in between, but they like to do those mini-series now during the regular season. So... I'm going to call a split there.
Yeah, you know Kobe's going for like a 40 piece on one of those nights.
For sure. You got Josh Giddey on that team too, is going to make some noise. We saw that buzzer beater last year against the Lakers. Yeah. Does Michael Porter Jr. How does he feel being in Brooklyn right now? Is he trying to show on a Sunday? What's going to happen here?
That's a win, man. That's a win, bro. That's a win.
I'm going to go. Let's see. I'm
going 7-3.
You're going 7-3. You're going to shoot 7-3. I'm going to go
7-3 out the gate.
Give me 8-2.
Oh, okay. All right.
8-2 out the gate.
You feeling good about this, man? Where do you think the 2 losses stem from?
I think one is to Chicago.
Okay, one of the 2, the home and homes.
I think it's the second night that they lose.
Okay, I think so. No, I didn't have that one. But go ahead.
I think the one that is going to, I don't know, man. I think there's something. It's either Cleveland or Boston, one of those 2 teams. I think it's going to be one of those games. It's going to be one of those games, man. Opening it up, you never know how you feel like opening it up.
Oh, the Guard's going to be rocking, man.
I know it's good. I know the Guard is going to be rocking.
The whole can't beat the elites. We got to run them at the gym. I'm going to be there. We got to run them at the gym, man.
I know, man, but. All right, I'm going to go with the win against Cleveland. I feel like they go to sleep against Boston on the second
night. Wow. Talk about lack of confidence. We're going 2-0 in those 2 games in the home. That's what I'm going with.
You going 2-0?
2-0. 2-0. I think one of these 2 home games, Miami, Milwaukee, could be an L. You out on the road, first one on the road. That Sunday might most likely will be Miami's home opener, so they'll have that like home opener juice. You know what I mean? You're back in South Beach, weather's good. You might step out, dip your toes in the sand a little bit. Maybe you're feeling yourself a little bit. That might be a little loss. All right? You never know how the Greek Freak is going to be feeling at home. That's probably their home opener or close to it. So one of those games I think could be a loss. The Chicago ones I feel pretty good about. Washington. Minnesota will be tricky. They always are. Ant-Man in the Garden. Julius returning. Dante returning. They're going to have juice for that. That one might be a tough one. Brooklyn. Memphis. Memphis will be... They'll be all right. They'll be kind of tough, but I'm not really too afraid of them. So I think I'm going 7-3, where one of the 2 losses in Miami, Milwaukee, another loss in Minnesota, and maybe you let the Memphis one go. Maybe I'm a little overconfident. We got to take the training wheels off, get through the growing pains, a new system, Mike Brown, and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go 7-3 through the first 10. Let's keep a good track of this.
All
right. You're going 8-2.
8-2.
First 10. Okay. All right. We're on our way. Here we go. In the middle of the season. Here we go. Okay. So then we have home Orlando, home Miami. Then you got a 5-game road trip at Miami, at Dallas. Cooper Flagg, number 1 pick. at Orlando, at Brooklyn, at Charlotte. Then you have home against the Milwaukee Bucks, the Raptors, and then at Boston. What do you think about that stretch?
Okay.
All winnable games. All winnable games.
They are all winnable games.
Yeah.
The back-to-back thing is so interesting, man. Can they do? I feel like because the team's going to come back just with the adjustment, right? And especially early on in the season, as you noted, are they still tweaking some things? Orlando's going to be tricky too, man, because they're going to play with an edge.
Yeah. And, Orlando, well, Orlando's traveling. Does Orlando have a game the night prior as well? What date is that game again?
Which one? Which Orlando game?
No, Orlando. Okay. 11-22.
Miami is
11,
the one
12.
that we got the 14th to 17th.
So Orlando's coming in off. They're traveling in. They have no game that night before. I think that's a loss.
You think they lose to Orlando at home?
Yeah. On the second, with the Knicks on the second night of a back-to-back, a travel day, rest day for Orlando, I think that's a loss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though New York's home?
Yeah. I think that's a loss.
I feel like it all. But you were okay. So you all right, I gotta think of my schedule because you gave Memphis. You gave Memphis the win against New York on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Not too confident, man.
Trying to think. This one's tough, man. This one's tough to figure out. So I'm gonna take the win against Orlando. They win the back-to-back. All right.
Okay.
They're gonna win the back-to-back. That's how I'm feeling. They win home against Miami. Mm-hmm. They lose in Miami because of the second of back-to-back.
Yep.
Dallas, that team is not ready to go. They win Dallas. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando, again, that's the one they lose to me. They lose in their building. We beat Brooklyn. We beat Charlotte. Milwaukee gets this one.
Okay. We
beat Toronto, and we beat Boston. So what I get? 8-2 again? That's what I'm going. 8-2 again.
Your Raps. I think that Orlando game is a loss. I think one of the Miamis is a loss. I think at Boston will be a loss. I'm going 7-3. Again, 7-3. Okay. All right, moving along, moving and grooving. What do you guys think in the chat? Throw your predictions in the chat. Now, okay. So now we have, a lot of these games before, before the in-season tournament finale, they're all winnable games in the slate of the schedule, So you have home against Charlotte, home against Utah, Orlando again. So you're really almost done with the season series with Orlando at this point. You're playing their third game against them by December 7th, which is very interesting. And, these games, they better come to play. Because season series could be over by December 7th against Orlando.
Yep.
So you have home against Charlotte, home against Utah, home against Orlando. First game at Pacers, revenge game, totally. Home against Philly, home against Miami again. At Minnesota, and then home against Cleveland. How you looking?
All right. I'm going to work my way backward on this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
that's interesting.
We're gonna lose to Cleveland the second time. I got them being the first time.
Okay.
We're gonna lose to Minnesota in Minnesota. They come back because I have them winning the first time. They're gonna come back with revenge. All right.
Okay.
Even though Karl Anthony Towns will be having another reunion back at where he got drafted, losing that one. We beat Miami. It's so interesting that they gave us Philadelphia on a prime time. I just, on national TV, I should say. But I think we take Philadelphia. So is that? That's 2-2 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana. I think we beat Indiana. I think Orlando comes back. I don't trust the Knicks on a matinee game, man. 12 p.m.
12 o'clock.
I don't believe it.
That's any man's game.
Sleepy.
That's any man's game right there.
I think Orlando takes that one. I think they're going to play with a lot of edge this season based on the changes that they have. I'm going to give Orlando that one. Utah and Knicks should win that one. Oh, we played Charlotte already. This will be the third time we play Charlotte.
Second time. Second time.
Second time. I'll give Charlotte that one. So let's say that's what. So I got Charlotte. What? That's 4. So 6-4 on this stretch.
Okay. 6-4. Okay. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 5. I go 5-5 on this stretch. I go 5-5.
You go 5-5. Okay.
Yeah. I think they get Charlotte, Utah, lose to Orlando, Indiana, lose to Philly. They may lose that Miami game, at Minnesota, and home against Cleveland. Yeah. And if you look at it overall, it's a little bit of a stretch because, I mean, let's take it from that Sunday. You get Orlando, at Indiana, back-to-back nights against Philly, then Miami, at Minnesota, home against, you're traveling home against Cleveland. Right now, as we step into the next 10, you're at Atlanta. Right? That Cleveland game is a Christmas game. Then you're at Atlanta. You know what? Make it 6-4. We're getting that Christmas game. Make it 6-4. I'm going 6-4 that next 10. We're getting that Christmas game. It's Christmas at the Garden. It's Knicksmas. They're going to win that game. Now, after that, though, you're at Atlanta, at the Pelicans, at Wemby and the Spurs, home against Atlanta, home Philly, your first Detroit game, home against the Clippers, then at Phoenix, then you go on your West Coast trip. So then you're at Phoenix, at Portland, at Sacramento. Let's take that next 10. That's a tough stretch right there. It's a lot of travel too, man. It's a lot of road games right there.
Yeah, you got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7. You got 7 road trips right there.
Yeah, that's heavy.
7 away games.
That's heavy. Whew. Yeah.
Do the Knicks get tired? Right? Because
Yeah.
let's think. It's the season. It's like a game, right? Like it's like watching a full game. There's going to be ebbs and flows. Guys are going to get on their run. I think the Knicks come out hot. Like I said, that's why I got them going stretch back-to-back 8-2s, then 6-4. I think they start to settle in a little bit, cool down a little bit, because you want to pace yourself, right? You're not trying to sprint. It's the whole point why they got rid of Tom. That's part of the reason why they got rid of Tom Thibodeau. They don't want to treat the regular season like a sprint. They're trying to condition themselves for the postseason. I think around this time, they're going to start fixing in, especially with Mitch, giving him some days off, right? Obviously, going to do that from the jump, make sure that he's not overworked, but you want to make sure that he's in condition from the start of the season. So, at Atlanta, that's a question. All I know is this. They're going to win that game against Atlanta at home. All right? That I do know. New Orleans, I think they beat New Orleans. That team's going to be funky. San Antonio, that's going to be a close game, but I think New York beats at San Antonio as well. I'll give Atlanta the first win.
Okay.
All right. Philadelphia, I just don't believe in that team, man. We're going to beat Philadelphia too. Detroit, this one. I think they come back with some heat.
Yeah.
They don't like what happened in the postseason. I think they make a statement. I think they get. I think they beat New York in this one. Yeah. I think they. Clippers. I think we take down the Clippers. Phoenix, we should beat Phoenix. I think we should beat Portland. Sacramento, we do it for Mike Brown. So what was I got? We beat Sacramento, Portland, Phoenix, Clippers. That's 4 right there. We lose to Detroit. Beat Philadelphia. Beat Atlanta at home. Beat San Antonio. Beat New Orleans. That's 7. I think 7-3. They go on that stretch.
7-3. Oof. Okay. I got 5-5.
5-5. Who are they losing to, CP?
I got 5 and 5. I'm going to L in Atlanta, San Antonio, Philly on the second night of a back-to-back, Detroit, and the Clippers.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going 5 and 5 in that next 10. All right. Now you have at Golden State. And then you have home Phoenix, home Dallas, Cooper Flag coming through. That's the MLK Classic. Home Brooklyn, at Philly, then you got home Sacramento, at Toronto, home Portland. Then you got the Lakers, and then at the Wizards. What do you think there?
I think Steph Curry goes off. I think they lose that game against, because that's the second night of a back-to-back. I think,
and the last road game. It's hard to win. It's hard to win.
Absolutely. I think they lose that one to the Warriors. Then you go off and face Phoenix at home. You just come back and you now travel to play at home. You have not even that much time to really rest. You got a day off in between after coming back from the West Coast. Your body's got to adjust. I think they lose that one to Phoenix. So you're starting off 0-2 there. They beat Dallas. I think they beat Brooklyn. They get 2 there. I'll give Philly this one. I don't think they're going to sweep Philly. But I think Philly wins this one. Philly wins this one. So they're 2-3 as of right now. Sacramento comes home. I think the Knicks win that one. So what is it? They're 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
They'll lose to Toronto. This one, I think there's going to be some. I think Toronto takes a step. They're going to be a little chippy this year with Quick, RJ. I think their squad will get some games. I think Toronto wins that one. Portland, I think we beat Portland again, even though they gave us a run for our money. But Knicks were injured at that point. Lakers, I think the Lakers win. And then Washington, we beat Washington.
Okay, so what's that?
I think that's 5. What, I got 5 and 5. Let's see. That's
okay. I hope you're writing it down because I lost track of yours. I hope you got yours.
1, 2.
I lost track of yours after the first
3,
10. I forgot to write yours down. I'm just writing mine down.
4, 5. It's 5 and 5.
Okay. All right. No problem. I'm going to go. I'm going 8-2 in that stretch. I think the losses come the Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go 7-3. I think losses go Golden State, Toronto, Lakers.
Okay.
I'm going 7-3. Okay. Now you get home Denver at Detroit. Stretch. Yeah. This is pre-All-Star, right? So you have Denver at Detroit, at Boston, Indiana, back-to-back at Philly again. Detroit, home H-Town, at Chicago, at Cleveland, at Milwaukee. Well, let's do this. Let's do this because we got to factor in the break. So let's cut this up. So let's go home Denver, at Detroit, at Boston, home Indiana, and then at Philadelphia. Let's do that. Let's do that. That 5 first. Cut it up 5 and 5.
All right, 5 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Denver is coming to town.
Yeah.
Okay. This is tough. We'll take Denver.
Yeah.
We'll take Denver at home. Think we'll beat Detroit. This is tough. This is tough. Tough. I'm going with a 2-3 stretch. 2-3? 3-2. I'll go with a 3-2 stretch here.
I'm going 3-2. It's a good call by you. I'm going 3-2.
Yeah.
Losses to Boston at home, the 12:30 game.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
And that Philly on the second night of a back-to-back.
Philly on the second night of a back-to-back. Yeah. I agree with you on that.
That's
one.
where I'm going. Okay.
I agree with
Now,
you.
out of the All-Star break, you have home Detroit, home H-Town, at Chicago, at Cleveland, at Milwaukee. So, like, the next 5 out of the All-Star break, you get 3 out of the 5 on the road.
Are the Knicks awake at this point? Are they? Do they feel refreshed?
Yeah.
That's the next question. Houston's going to be a big matchup for them.
Big matchup. Big matchup.
That's going to be a big matchup. The question too is you talked about earlier in the show with Detroit, right? You want to keep positioning. Does Detroit actually take that step again forward next year, where they're still a competitive team? You know, they made the playoffs last year. Where are they at
Yeah.
in their journey growing as a team?
Ivy, Robinson, LeVert.
Yeah. It's not that I'm worried about them, but like during the regular season, is this a team that just plays with a lot more edge because they're a younger team, right? Knicks are thinking bigger picture. Are the young guys thinking more of like respect and just trying to, you know, continue to earn their name, earn that respect during the regular season too?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, because I don't want them to, this is the tough part for positioning. I think they beat Detroit. I think they win against Detroit. I think they lose to Houston.
Okay.
I think that youth and athleticism that plagued them last year might rear its ugly head in this game, just because you still got Thompson out there. You know, you got Tari Eason out there. You got a lot of young guys who play that wingish position.
Yeah.
I think they lose to Houston. And you got Katie out there now. I think that changes a lot of things. So they lose to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Second night of a back-to-back. I'll say that they played a hard-fought game against Houston in the Garden. Second night of a back-to-back. I think they lose to Chicago. So they lose those 2 games. They come back, bounce back against Cleveland, and they lose to Milwaukee. I'm going 2-3 in this one.
Okay. I'm going 3-2. And the loss is not where you'd expect. I think the loss is at Chicago, second night of a back-to-back. I think they beat H-Town. Forget Katie and them. They're beating H-Town at home. They're coming out the All-Star break refreshed, rejuvenated. Right. They beat Detroit. They beat H-Town. Lose to the Bulls, second night of a back-to-back. You may have some guys resting, some guys taking off. And then maybe that Cleveland game after that they might lose. And then they beat Milwaukee at home. On the road. Going 3-2. 3-2.
How many games do you have them winning against Cleveland this season? Because you have them winning against. So you got them going 2-3, 2-1 against Cleveland.
So far,
because you got them winning opening night.
Yeah, so far we ain't worried about them.
You got them winning on Christmas Day. Okay.
Yeah, we ain't worried about them.
All right. Just trying to do the calculation over here.
We ain't worried.
Just trying to do the calculation.
Okay. All right. So now you got home San Antonio. At Toronto, quickly and RJ and the boys. Second night of a back-to-back. You got to go back home to play the champs. Then you have your West Coast trip, second half. At Denver, at Lakers, at Clippers, at Utah. Go to Indiana, home to Golden State, and then home against Indiana. What do we think?
This West Coast trip is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I think they win against San Antonio again. Still a young team in my eyes. We beat Toronto. So they start off 2. They lose to OKC again. I don't think they beat OKC this year. I think OKC is just going to play with that youth, that athleticism. They're feeling good. They just won the chip this year. So they're 2-1 right there. They lose to Denver this time because they beat them earlier at home. They oh, wait a minute. This is noon. Hold on. This is noon over on the West Coast against the Lakers. They're playing early.
It's an early game. It's an early game. It's an early game.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It's an early game. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And they got a back-to-back, too? Whew.
Yeah. Yep. Sure do.
They ain't going far, but sheesh. They win in one of those games. Man. So they beat San Antonio. They beat Toronto. Lose to OKC. Lose to Denver.
Wow. Lose to Denver. No faith. Damn.
They're taking the Lakers, man. They're taking out Luka and LeBron at home.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
They'll lose to James Harden, all right, because they beat them earlier. So now we're talking about 3-3 right now. They're 3-3 at this point.
Yes, sir.
They beat Utah, so that's their 4th win.
Okay.
Now your last game on the road trip, they probably lose to Indiana. Okay? They beat Golden State.
Yeah.
And they beat Indiana. So what is it? They win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7.
7-3?
7-3.
Okay.
Look at that.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Oh no, wait, hold on.
Yep.
I have because I got hold on one second.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, 6-4. Sorry, 6-4.
Okay. I'm going 7-3. You don't got confidence in the team. I do. I'm going with a loss to the champs. Loss to the Clippers on the second night of a back-to-back. Loss to Indiana on the last game of the road trip. 7-3.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. We're getting to it. The final 10 here. Ish. So, all right. So after the Indiana game, now at Memphis, at Brooklyn, home against Washington, home against New Orleans. This is where you're kind of cleaning up now. At Charlotte, at OKC, tough. At Houston, home against Chicago, at Atlanta, home against Boston, and then home against Toronto, Charlotte. So 12. I'm giving you 12 games now.
All right. We beat Memphis. We beat Brooklyn. We beat Washington. We beat New Orleans because this is what's going to happen. Someone's missing time for New Orleans, man. That team is going to look funky.
Yeah, yeah.
They might have even traded Zion by that point, right?
Yeah. By that time, they would have had enough of Zion's theatrics. He's out of there.
Yeah. We're beating Charlotte.
Okay.
All right. We're on a good little we're on a good little hot streak. Lose to OKC. Come back, we beat Houston. Beat Chicago. Beat Atlanta. At this part of the season, we got things locked up. Do we even really need to play guys anymore?
So you're thinking load management. We're chilling right now. Okay, so you're factoring a couple more L's.
Yes.
Okay.
We send out the guys for Boston. They play a little bit, man. Come on. We get
at that point, is the 1 or 2 seed locked up already?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, man. We played Boston. We send out the stars. We do the whole thing. We adhere to the prime time. We make sure that our guys play.
Okay.
You know? But we pull them early. Don't got to worry about it. Toronto, Charlotte, the young guys get some. The bench gets a minute. We let some young guys get playing too. All right, that's what I'm going with. So probably lose Charlotte and Toronto. Boston, toss up whether or not they care. But we beat Atlanta, beat Chicago. So it's out of the 12 games we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Winning 8 out of those 12 games.
Me too. That's what I got. I got loss against Boston. I don't.
Okay.
So I'll go 8-4 as well.
All right.
All right. Good exercise, man. All right, let's tally it up, man. Let's see what your record is, man.
Don't tell me 75. No.
500. Hold on. All right, let's get some tallies here. Yeah. 38, 45, 53. Look at that. That's the number I had yesterday. 53.
53.
There we go. Accurate. What do you got?
There you go.
You at 500? Where are you at?
I didn't even tell you.
Okay.
I don't got Petty. I'm holding the mic over here.
All right, we'll go back to we'll replay gang the episode and tally yours up, and we'll make a graphic. We'll put it out there for season predictions.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
We'll do that. I got 53.
There you go.
I'm happy with it.
It's not bad.
50,
That's good.
53 and 29 on the campaign. What do you guys think in the chat, man? Rate my prediction in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty good. Good exercise, man.
That's a good record right there.
Yeah. People saying what do you think about the 60 gang? A lot of people talking about 60, man. What do you think, man?
I think if you win 60 games, you got to walk. That is a trajectory of like NBA Finals. Yeah, you have to. There's no way around that.
Nah, you can't Cleveland it up.
No, you can't. You cannot. You cannot do that.
You can't Cleveland it up over here, ladies and gentlemen. Not with 60 wins.
But let me ask you this, because sure, it's attainable, but I think when you're coming into the season and you're looking at the landscape, and this is where things can always change, and that's why, as the season progresses, how hard do you want to go for all those wins? Is it necessary to go for all those wins, right? Where you're focusing more on developing your team and the chemistry for the postseason. Do we see, outside of the Cavs who did it last year, is there another team outside of the Knicks that's capable of doing that this season? Because if that's the case, then you got to worry about, all right,
another team capable of
getting 60+ wins.
No way. In the East?
In the East, outside of the Cavs.
No.
Okay. So then I don't really think it's necessary for the Knicks then to really aim for that.
Yeah.
And whether or not they get 1 or 2, I think if you're playing the Cavs, as we see it doesn't really matter at that point.
I have a hard time seeing Brown take his foot off the gas with all the pressure here.
Jaylen Brown, you're talking about?
Mike Brown.
Oh, Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
I don't know if you're talking. I don't know if you'll get Celtics thinking that they're still going to aim for something, or okay, Mike.
Nah,
Brown.
I have a hard time unless things like just break right for the Knicks. They're the number 1 seed. Cleveland is just headed in the gutter. Maybe they have a catastrophic injury. Knock on wood. Hope for that on people. But just with fantasy basketball speaking, and the Knicks are just clear ahead in the East. But I don't know, man. I think with so much pressure on the line with this coach and this team, I think he's going to want to really set his mark. It doesn't mean he's going to... Say that again?
No, go ahead. Finish
it doesn't mean he goes, Tibbs minutes, heavy minutes with the starters, but I think he's going to demand these guys go hard.
I think he's going to demand excellence. But I also think that even though he may want that, I think this is where we look at the collaboration of the front office and everybody else. Do they want that? Are they thinking? Are they telling him like, look, we know, wins are very important for seeding, but is it really important that we push these guys to the point where we exhaust them,
right?
And that we fall short in the postseason? And I think that's where. That's a Tibbs mindset where you're saying, hey, we're going to win every single game of the regular season because that's important for seeding purposes.
Yeah.
And it'll get you guys conditioned and ready for the postseason. I won't say that Mike Brown won't get them ready in a different way with the practices that we know that Tibbs wasn't doing last year, right? There wasn't enough practices. So I think even in the days where he's not extending them a lot of minutes during a regular season game, it's not that they're not going to be working behind the scenes to get in rhythm and get on the same page. I think the front office will step in and say, hey, we got bigger plans here, man. We know that we can win all X amount of games, but that doesn't mean anything if these guys are, worn down by the time where it matters most.
Yeah.
And so while he may want that, I think the front office will step in and say, we don't need 65 wins. If they're capable of doing that and still performing at a high level, sure, why not? And we'll measure that as the season progresses. But our focus is getting these guys back to the ECF, potentially in NBA Finals, because of what the Eastern Conference landscape looks like. We'll do our best to to hold off everybody else and keep good positioning in the East, but that shouldn't be our focus.
But see, this is where, the conflict between perception and reality presents itself, because JJ from Brooklyn, right? We say this every year, every preseason. I don't care about regular season wins. I care about the playoffs. But in reality, we do care about regular season wins. We are a reactionary group. This is why we have post-game live every night. And this is why we crucify this team for not beating the elites, for getting into the ruts when they got into the ruts, right? Despite the fact that they made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals and fell 2 games short of the finals. We were very much invested in the regular season last year. And so that's why I'm not so sure. Yes, we can sit here and say it's all about the playoffs, get these guys prepared, get them rested. But especially if these guys don't get out to a good start. And we went through that schedule. It's a lot of winnable games between the beginning to October 22nd through the end of the NBA Cup, which is early December. A lot of winnable games. If they get off to a slow start, it's going to be a lot of questions. The questions are going to start early, man. The pressure's on early.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with the pressure being on. I don't disagree that if they go into a skid, there's going to be a lot of questions moving forward. I think how you quell that is by starting off hot.
Got to start off hot.
Then when you talk about, all right, how do we pace ourselves, right? It's truly like running a marathon. If you ran a marathon or a half marathon, anything of that nature, they always tell you, you start off, you want to get a good start. You don't go out so fast out of the gate, but you want to get your footing straight, right? And then as you get to like the halfway point and further on, you start to work at a negative split, as they talk about. You start to shade off time a little bit, right? But you're still thinking about the long game, right? And even though that's the game plan to shave off time every single mile, it's not going to be that way because the terrain's not the same for every race.
Yeah.
And so I think for this case, the change in the terrain would be how are they performing on a night-to-night basis? Are we seeing those same elements like last year where, oh, well, these guys are tired. These guys are making boneheaded plays, especially after January 1st. The offense isn't clicking, right? Those are the things that we're going to really be hyper-focused on.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think that if you see cohesion and everything looks and things look good from an aesthetic standpoint of playing good basketball, knowing that this team is capable of playing and not losing to those good teams, right? Because that was the other thing. The offense got choppy, and now we're talking about not beating really good teams that we're supposed to be beating during the regular season. Even though we did do that in the postseason, were we capable of doing that? We weren't capable of doing that in the regular season, and that was the worry, right? And even if when we did beat Boston, right? Even when we did beat Detroit, and even though we did get 2 games against Indiana, we played from behind. The offense wasn't great. It was a lot of the same thing. It was very monotonous in how it went through. And I think if you see some creativity on the offensive side, if you see good defense, I think you can get by and say we can worry about the postseason, and people won't be so as hyper-focused during the regular season. Yeah, I know Knicks Nation, that's who we are, man. We're going to criticize everything. We're going to do that. But I think how it's made to get to the postseason is going to matter more so than it's going to matter in how we evaluate this team.
Okay. We're going to revisit this soundbite during the first 3-game losing streak and see how things are when the house is on fire. But I appreciate your optimism, man. I do. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel, CP and Alex on the 1s and 2s. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Al, $50 super chat. Salute to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Where's my hang on, man. I gotta we got some people in the what you call it. But shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. $50 super chat, Al. And he says, sometimes solid second units and superb bench get you 10-plus regular season wins. Absolutely. CP and Alex, salute to KFTV fam. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, man. He's definitely right on that. And shout out to Randy Johnson, Al. He's a Fanchise channel member. He left a comment yesterday I didn't get a chance to get to. The Knicks did finalize their bench for the most part. What did you think about the bench additions? Do you have an opinion on the bench additions?
For bench additions for
Mike Brown's bench. Sorry, the coaching bench. Coaching bench.
I think we'll evaluate that as the season comes on, man. And look, they got some good cachet behind them. At the end of the day, is it the same thing as I discussed with James Ham? Are they going to
Yeah.
work as a family? Is it going to be cohesive? And while we can praise for making what seems like on paper solid hires, we got to see how it plays out, man. But hey, we're getting it done, and so that way people don't have to necessarily be worried about not having about the lack of Mike Brown associate head coach or assistant coaches on the bench.
Shout out to Walter King. He drops a $20 super chat. Shout out to Walter King. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to everybody leaving super chats. If you don't know how to leave a super chat through YouTube, you can send us a Cash App, man. $ KnicksFanTV on Cash App to send a donation to the show. We definitely appreciate it. Let's get to the Members Lounge. Those are other people contributing to the show. Shout out to our loyal Fanchise channel members. Let's go to Graba on the Discord. Graba, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, CP, Alex, what it do, man? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing, bro?
What up?
Man, I'm chilling. Hey, I just want to say congrats to you, CP, and the Knicks chick, first lady of Knicks Fan TV on y'all engagement, man. That's
Appreciate it, man.
big time things, man.
Appreciate it.
Hope y'all enjoyed your little trip. Hope you, Alex, been enjoying your summer. But
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about these Knicks next year, man.
Let's do it.
First of all, I got them going 56 and 26. I'm gonna get that out the way right off the bat.
Okay.
I think there's questions to be asked, with the people we brought in off the bench, and I still think there's questions about the defense.
Mm-hmm.
With Cat and JB, like that's two pretty big holes on defense in the starting lineup. But
Sure.
I think with the additions that we made, with people that are already on the bench, like if Mitch or Jay Hart, whichever one come off the bench, I think we have enough that we can actually rest players and it won't affect us the way it would, like last season. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so my whole thing is I just hope Mike Brown could come here and just get these guys, on the same page. Hopefully, the staff that he brought in, hopefully, we get some better offense going. Hopefully the defense, if it don't improve, hopefully it stays, right around. Hopefully we don't take a hit defensively because JC he ain't guarding nobody.
Yeah, he ain't guarding nobody. Clarkson ain't guarding nobody.
He had to do one thing. He out here trying to get lit in the garden. That's the only thing he trying to do.
That's it. Well, the hope with Clarkson, and real talk, optimism aside, I think the change of scenery and the expectations, we'll see a better Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, I
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he wasn't playing no winning ball out there in Utah, and I think playing in front of the Garden, playing for a winning team, hopefully that gets him, his mindset right to where he knows he got to come here. Even if you ain't scoring 20, 25 points, as long as you're doing it efficiently, you know what I'm saying? You're giving us 12, 14 points, and it's efficient, and you're contributing to what we got going on, then I think it's going to be a huge plus. I think Yabusele is going to be huge for us, especially, after, Precious left. And you never know what you're going to get from Mitch, if he's going to play 30 games or 50 games or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think the number one thing, and I'll say this and I'll let go, I think Mitch, if he could get to 65 games next season,
mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be huge. And if he's healthy in the playoffs, I got us going to the finals. And, hey, all you got to do is get to the dance and let the chips fall where they may.
Let's go.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Knicks Fan TV. Like it up. If you're not in the Discord, if you're not a member, you know what I'm saying? Join the membership.
Let them know about the Discord, man. 24/7 group chat. Are you chatting it up on the Discord, or do you typically use it just to call in?
There, man. Just come out here as a family. You know what I'm saying? Oh, one thing. What's the opening night facts? CP, what we doing, man?
I mean, most likely we'll have a group set. We're gonna have everything for everybody. You know what I mean? So we will have group tickets if the Garden is offering that. So we'll have a group package. Hopefully that will come with some sort of perks, whether it's pregame shoot around, the free throw. That all is pending their availability for that night. So we gotta wait and see. It's a little early now, but once I get the word from them, we'll get that out there. Obviously, watch party season will be kicking off, so we'll have a watch party that Wednesday and the Friday as well for those who can make it down. And then we'll have play-by-play, man. So we'll have everything covered for every fan, whether they are in New York or out of state, man. No worries.
Yeah, I heard that, man. Even if you can't get to the garden, if you can't get to the watch party, you know what I'm saying? Knicks Fan TV is the place to be, man.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna be in the building regardless, opening night. So I know you're gonna be there. I'm gonna see you.
Yes, sir.
You know, chop it up. You know what I'm saying? His cheers to a good season, fellas. Let's
Yes,
get
sir.
it.
Appreciate it, man. Good to hear from you. It's Grabba on the Discord. It's a good call, Al. It's a good call. Shout out to Grabba, man. All right, let's wrap up a couple of these quick things because I got a dip. This was the. Let me get to it. I'm trying to find it. This was the schedule release video. You know, every team does those schedule release videos. We didn't get a chance to go through every other team. We just didn't have time. But this is ours. This was the Knicks one, courtesy of our guy, Starberry. Here we go.
Okay, you know what it is. It's the season opener. It's the schedule. We got one schedule coming up for you. Have a good day, young lady. Okay, you know what it is.
All right, so that was Starberry handing out glizzy schedules outside of the Garden. So that was theirs. They it was quick and right to the point, right to it. There we go. There we go. Shout out to Starberry. Also, man, this was one thing. We're happy about this schedule being released and things, but there's a lot of fans not really happy about how you gotta basically you need a roadmap to find your team on every given night. This was the NBA PR releasing their prime time schedule every day of the week. And look, you have Sunday games will be on ABC or NBC Peacock, Monday Peacock, Tuesday NBC Peacock, Wednesday ESPN, Thursday Amazon Prime, Friday will be Prime and ESPN, Saturday's Prime and ABC, man. Al, your thoughts on this? Because the NBA now being the latest league that is carving up the content, carving up the games on several streaming platforms. What's your take on it?
For Prime and Peacock, NBC, it's pretty simple, right? I mean, especially for Peacock, it's Sunday through Tuesday. Prime is Thursday through Saturday. And then ESPN, ABC, you got to think ABC is ESPN as well. So you got Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday. So ESPN gets the weekend.
Yeah.
Prime gets extended weekend.
Yeah.
If you want to call it. But it's definitely different. Definitely different for the entire coverage. My thing is, when it comes to Prime, right, it's just subscriber base. Like, the amount of subscriptions now to stay on top of these things, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to promote viewership, right? You're trying to garner more attention by forcing people to get these subscriptions. Are you accomplishing that? Or are you now limiting the amount of people that get to watch these games? And I think if you're the NBA, you got to be careful with this, and you got to figure out deals on how to make sure your games are being watched, because that's always a talking point.
The ratings convo is coming again.
Always,
over under 20 games.
Ratings combo is always going to be back, man.
The ratings
doesn't matter when or what. So if you're the NBA, as long as you're not worried about the ratings conversation, Mondays and Thursdays might not be so great for you if you got to have those subscriptions to go watch.
Yeah, I mean, I mind you, I have all these things. I have Peacock, I got Prime, I have all of it. I got Netflix, I got everything.
Right.
I even have the alternative viewing sources. So if those things go out, I got a backup plan. I won't say what it is, but hit up my guy C-Mac. My guy C-Mac is taking care of us, okay? I just don't like the carving up of the thing, man. And look, this is just NBA. I haven't watched the Yankee game on Apple TV in 2 years. Because I refuse. I don't have it. I refuse to go get it. They stink anyway. I haven't gotten that. And then you got, hey, for my WWE guys, right? You had WWE Network, then they moved to Peacock, now they're on Netflix, and now they moved to what? Now they're on ESPN thing. Yep. So you got to figure out the whole ESPN thing. UFC, great deal. A lot of deals being made in the grand scheme of things. Now UFC, going from ESPN, now you got to get your Paramount Plus, CBS. It's all over the place, man. All over the place.
It's all over the place. And for people asking in the chat, they still play on MSG too, right? Yeah. We're going to be able to catch these games locally. But, if you're thinking about the Knicks, who will be playing
34.
They're going to play 34, as you said. But I guess, are they going to do split? Will you still be able to watch on MSG?
Not all those national TV games are simulcast on MSG.
Right. So
That's what Dolan's been tight about with the new TV.
That's where this becomes a little bit more tricky, right? Is that now you're telling people to watch your team, go get Prime, go get Peacock. And I think the NBA has to play a delicate balance here, as well as these internet service providers, right? Because, and I say internet service providers because Peacock, you need a subscription, you need an app, you need to have internet to go watch on demand. So if you're going to play this game, you just gotta be very careful, man, because you don't want to lose viewership. That's how it's how the players get their money. It's how the owners get their money, right? So they're playing a dicey game, and I think it's great to have the NBA back on NBC, right? I mean, I love that bumper that they already did.
Oh, they did a great job. They're doing a great job.
That was tough, man. That was absolutely tough. Great marketing right there.
NBC's going to blow them out the water. They're going to kill them.
For sure. But you just got to be careful because, like last year, you had NBA on TNT, and TNT is part of cable. So it was easy to watch. That's the only thing, man, is that if you make it harder for people to go watch, you can deter people from watching your games. You can stagnate fan bases from growing, and I think the NBA has to be aware and conscious of that.
100%. Well said, and we can close on that note. Drewski says, can we still watch on League Pass? Yeah, absolutely. I got League Pass too. So I mean, I have the sources to watch the stuff. I'm just not a fan of the segmenting of everything. And, like, by the time you know it, are you really saving that much?
No, not at all.
When you factor in, what you try to save on cable, you're probably playing more, and now it's more of a headache to watch everything on one device.
CP, that was the whole point of this.
That was the whole point.
Cable. You have cable, phone, internet. You're paying $300 some odd, $400 some odd for the entire package. It's like, wait a minute, let me just cut that in a third. Let me go get like a YouTube TV or something like, or Hulu TV, right? And let me try saving that way. But now that they've diced it up all this way, you're getting all the apps again. You're back to spending the same amount, if not more.
You're back to it, man. So capitalism, I love it, man. I love it. I love it, man. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to NBC. That is going to be fantastic, man. You got Jordan, you got Melo. They're doing starting lineups on the broadcast. Yeah, NBC does it right, man. Olympics, I love when they do all of that. They do everything right. Sunday Night Football, they do everything right, man. NBC's going to be where it's at.
For sure. I would say the other thing, too, CP, because since someone brought up League Pass, keep in mind, if it's a nationally televised game, we have League Pass blacked out. You got to go watch it there.
Wait. Say that one more time.
If it's on League, even though you have League Pass, if it's on Prime or one of those things, you're not going to be able to watch it. You have to go.
That's right. I misspoke. Good. Yeah. You're right.
And so if it's being televised locally, so if it is on a NBC, you got to go watch it there. You can't, So thankfully on NBC, but if it is going to be on Prime or something like that, or Peacock, you're gonna be stuck, man. This goes back to the league. If you want to expand and if you want to grow fan bases, you got to make it accessible, man. You got to make it accessible for the people.
Yeah, well said, man. And on that note, great show, Al. Great show, all the mods. Great show, Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. Great show to our loyal Fanchise channel members. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to everybody watching on Facebook. Remember that these shows are available in audio podcast format, so no reason to miss it. You can catch us everywhere, man. We are everywhere you are. Head over to KnicksFanTV.com, get your merch, get your snaps, and sign up for the newsletter. Free 99, free to sign up. And hey, as you see here, we got to keep you guys up to speed, keep you guys informed on the latest and greatest. So sign up for the newsletter to do just that and tap into some of the upcoming articles from our esteemed panel of writers. Shout out to Omar, Jalen, Jeff, Remy. Shout out to the whole team, man. All right? Al, enjoy the weekend. Everybody enjoy the weekend. And we'll see you guys next time, man. Peace.